Good day, mates. Thank you for joining me again. Two more stories here. The first deals with a breakup. The second deals with a cheating man and his pregnant affair partner. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's do this. This story is titled, Does It Make Me Look Bad to My Ex That I Said I Wish I Would Have Broken Up With Him a Long Time Ago Instead of Having a Medical Abortion? Warning, this has triggering content about abortions. Yesterday when I broke up with my ex, I told him, I wish I would have broken up with you a long time ago. And never had an abortion because the baby would have been the best thing I would have gotten out of this relationship. I said this because I still feel extremely sad for having the medical abortion in September 2019. Seeing the baby fall out of me was extremely traumatizing. The abortion felt like a robbery. A part of me feels that if I had the baby it would have had a good life, which is why I said that to him. I have a feeling that he will use the fact that I said this to validate to himself that I'm crazy for wanting to leave him and still have the baby without him there to be a father. But he doesn't have a fatherly bone in his body. He would never have been a father to the child because he wanted it dead because he said it would put a wrench in his life. And what life? Going around being a pervert serial cheater collecting women. And I am starting to realize that he actually hates children. One day when we were walking through the mall, I spotted a toddler that appeared to look like he was lost. So I turned around and stopped to make sure if anyone that looked like they maybe his parents were nearby, and my ex said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I thought the child over there might have been lost because he's just standing there with no adults around paying attention to him." And he said, "Oh well, who cares, not our problem." And he pulled my hand for me to come on. What kind of heartless thing is that to say? Thankfully the child's parents were around. I now remember comments he made calling children shite kids or annoying brats. He detested the sound of crying babies on a hateful level, and not just out of simple anxiety to the sound of crying babies. He actually talked about how he hated the sound of crying babies, saying, "Oh, I hate the sound of crying children or babies. Absolutely horrible sound. I am in so much pain, I'm involuntarily crying everywhere out of nowhere, even in the most embarrassing awkward places like at work or walking down the street. And people might think I'm crazy seeing me just start crying out of nowhere or walking by myself crying. I'm in so much pain because I'm still processing the medical abortion, and now I have to process another loss, which is the breakup with him. Even though I broke up with him, I still feel like I'm the one who was discarded because of how he stonewalled me in the most shocking ways. Like glaring at me with such evil while not talking or groaning out loud while I was being vulnerable with him. Like this past Saturday, I was talking calmly to him about him cheating, and I told him about the receipt I saw for the romantic gift he bought for this woman, who happens to have much bigger breasts than I do, which I suspected he preferred all along based on what he has been saying to me. Instead of us discussing his cheating, the conversation somehow shifted to being about me and how I misinterpreted what he said about how he's friends with non-white women because he isn't attracted to white women. Well, if he wasn't sexually attracted to his friends like he claims, then why do I have evidence that he was cheating on me with one of his friends? If he already dated two of them, then he most likely was still dating all of them. He said, "How can I have time to cheat when I see you every weekend?" He only saw me for 9 hours a week on the weekends if I was lucky, and he didn't break my heart by canceling meeting up with me on the weekends on the last minute. He'd spend 4 hours with me on Fridays and maybe 5 hours with me on Saturdays. In the beginning he was so excited about me. And then he just started paying me less and less attention, by meeting up with me at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays, so he wouldn't have to spend the whole day with me. And then he would stay inside all day Sunday. Before we broke up yesterday, we hadn't had sex in almost 2 months, so he must have been getting it elsewhere. I have been seeing him scratching his dick a lot, so maybe that's also a sign he could have been cheating. I should go get myself checked for diseases even though I'm not having any symptoms. Last time I had a pap smear it came out normal, but I stupidly slept with him again. The nurses gave me a pap smear when they did the transvaginal ultrasound of the baby. He has done some disappearing acts which also made me suspect he could have been cheating on me with one of his friends. I remember when he disappeared in January 2020, he said he was going to take a nap at 2 p.m. and then I didn't hear from him at all until the next morning at 8:30 a.m. He would sometimes text good night, and that was inconsistent. Then 3 months later in April 2020 he told me one of his female friends moved back to Los Angeles from Texas in January 2020. Okay, so was he screwing her the days he had been disappearing in January? Before the COVID-19 thing started, he used to just meet up with me on the weekends so I could spend the night at his house to have sex while we watched movies on his TV. But since he shares a house with his brother didn't want me visiting anymore because of COVID. So not being able to go to my ex-boyfriend's house showed me how little he really liked spending time with me. I always felt like he was spending time with me out of obligation because he told me that he has to spend time with me just to keep me happy. He would complain about how tired he was when we were out together and he would be distant. He told me that on some weekends he gets antisocial and doesn't want to be bothered with anyone, and he told me one weekend when we were out together, "Now this is a day I would rather be at home watching football." He was always telling me that he loved me because of how tender, sweet, loving and low maintenance I am. Well, now I realize that he thought was so sweet and low maintenance because I was putting up with all of his shite. I remember him telling me how he broke up with a girl because she complained that he put everything before her, his job, his shopping, the gym, everything. I guess he was telling me this as if to say, if you complain about me not spending time with you, then I'm gone. I just feel the most used up and worthless, and I feel like the life has been sucked out of me. It actually physically hurts to do anything like brush my teeth or eat. I am not saying I am going to let my hygiene go to shite, but it really hurts to even get out of bed for work in the morning because of all the pain. I've had a severe migraine since Saturday when we had that argument, and I'm afraid that I'm about to have a stroke. I want to just go to sleep and disappear forever. Comment 1. Not bad to say, but if there is a silver lining, it's that you're not tied to him for the rest of your life and have the option to make a truly clean break. It sounds like you have some trauma to work on both with the abortion and the relationship. Look up PTSD treatments like EMDR. And definitely go no contact if you haven't already. Comment 2. He also took my shoes. I asked him could he give them back to me yesterday, and he hasn't said anything to me since yesterday morning. I guess it's his way of punishing me for cursing him out. The shoes are $6 from Walmart, but those shoes are hard to find, and they are the only ones I have found, for right now, that are comfortable for my feet. I have only asked him one time can he give me back my shoes and my $18 box of Häagen-Dazs ice cream, and I haven't asked him again because I don't want to bug him for it. I guess I can just count it as a loss, and I told him he can come get his book that he let me borrow. I tossed it in the trash since it doesn't seem like he wants it. He has not said anything to me in almost 2 days now. A part of me wants to hear from him telling me he loves me and he's sorry, and logically I know he will never do that. Because if he had the capacity for any self-reflection and accountability, then he wouldn't have torn my heart to shreds in the first place. Comment 3. Stop reaching out to him over dumb stuff. You're only making yourself look more weak in his eyes. You finally stood up for yourself, now stick with it. This story is titled, Pregnant and Out. I am the other woman. Should I tell the main woman? I met a guy a bit over a year ago now, and we got along well, but I wasn't at a point of paying attention to date, was focusing on myself. Right around the start of COVID, we randomly reconnected again. We ended up talking a lot, and he had told me he left an unhappy relationship, and I was single already, so I engaged with it. We talked, texted, FaceTimed all the time, and he would even stop to see me after work and before work when able. He lives an hour away but works third shift in my area. We have been doing this for 6, almost 7 months. I found out at the beginning of September that I'm pregnant, which I was told was almost impossible for me because of hormonal issues, and we had used protection, so it was a bit of a shock. When I told him, which was right away, he immediately started talking to me about abortion and how he never wanted kids, and then about how his whole life was about to change because he was still living with his girlfriend of 5 years. I've been looking at all my options, as he's made it clear that if I don't get rid of the baby, he doesn't plan on being with me but won't step down from being a father and will want partial custody. He just doesn't want to have to pay support or anything. I literally saw no signs of him in a relationship. He hid it incredibly well. He has no social media whatsoever and would send me pictures, FaceTime a lot, so I never felt I had to doubt him, and I guess I wasn't looking for flags. I told him he had a choice: 1. Leave me alone and sign his rights over. 2. Communicate only about the baby. 3. Communicate in general but do everything separate. Or 4. Try to make a family work. I also told him he needs to come clean sooner than later to his girlfriend. As of now, he's told his close family, but I have no clue all that he's actually said because he's obviously a liar. I've thought of reaching out to them myself, but I am scared because I don't know how he painted me out to look. All we have done is fight and argue, and he has been playing victim and fires me up and then tells me it's my fault he doesn't want to be with me. Quick note, in no way did I do this to trap him, not even a little. He refuses to make a choice and has not yet came clean. It's been 2 weeks. Should I reach out to his family? It would be via Facebook. Should I reach out to his current girlfriend and tell her? Like a text or a phone call. I'm trying to navigate all of this while still being pregnant, and having a lot of emotions and hormones in general. Whilst he calls me to yell at me and tell me that I'm the issue because I don't appreciate his attitude and I'm not being accommodating enough. Really, I know it's because he wants me to get an abortion so he can keep the life he has. My mental health is absolutely obliterated to the point I had to pack a bag and leave my area. I'm trying to gain footing and do what's right. Help. Comment 1. It does sound like a difficult situation you are in. I don't get how he will have any custody without telling his current girlfriend what happened. Don't fall for this. It sounds like he doesn't want to pay any support and pretending at the moment that he'll be seeing the child. So, not only will he not see his child, but you'll get no financial support either. Document everything. Find a good family lawyer because you'll need one. I don't think anything would stop me from telling his girlfriend. If he won't, then you have to. It's going to kill her. I have been in the position of a boyfriend getting another woman pregnant. Nobody told me. I found out accidentally. I wish someone told me. It also prompted me to go and get an STI test. Comment 2. Honestly, you should A. Tell his girlfriend. Tell her you had no idea that she existed, but be honest with her about the situation. B. Absolutely go after child support from him. Sounds like your baby will need it and he doesn't sound like he'll be the responsible co-parent type. Good luck, op. Comment 3. If you decide to terminate the pregnancy, focus on that first. Do what you need to do to be 100% sure of your decision. And ask for money if you need financial assistance or a hotel for a few days after the procedure if you have to travel out of town for it. Then absolutely contact the significant other and tell her what happened and to go get tested immediately. Do it clinically. Send her a Facebook or text message with screen grabs to prove your story. Nothing else. Then block them all and start healing. Comment 4. I don't see why he's the one giving you options as if you have to choose. Sounds like he's manipulating you, and has been for a while considering you didn't know about his girlfriend. Really ask yourself, is that someone you'd want to raise a child with? Also, don't fall for, sign my rights over and I don't have to pay. You need to lawyer up, as soon as possible. He needs to be paying child support, he made that bet, he needs to lay in it. It takes two to tango, girl. If he doesn't want to be an active father, that's fine and probably better for you anyway, but it's not fair that you have to bear all of the costs that come with being a parent. Also, as far as telling his girlfriend and family, I wouldn't. They may harass you and you don't need the added stress. Let them find out when your lawyer serves him with court papers for child support and custody court. Usually I say tell the girlfriend so she doesn't waste any more time with a loser like him, but being that you're pregnant, your only obligation right now is to the child and your own parental rights. If you decide to follow through with this pregnancy, no judgment, I myself would consider termination to wash my hands clean of a man like this. To each their own. Comment 5. Keep all the text messages and get a lawyer. They will help you navigate through this better. Basically, the lawyer will know how to prove in court that this man doesn't want his child, but will hold him responsible for supporting the child. After all, this is his responsibility also. Secondly, I would tell the GF. However, once he goes to court, it will come out either way. So, it's up to you whether you want that added stress in your life. Look for support from your family and friends, as this guy has, and will continue to check out. Do not plan to depend on him for anything. Plan to hold him responsible in court and move on with your life. I'm sorry this happened to you in such an unfortunate situation. Stay strong and depend on your friends and family during this difficult time. Thank you so very much for listening. Please check out my other videos and like and subscribe.